We are about 40 miles or so south of Candlestick Point at a place that first opened back in 2014 as you get a look at Levi's Stadium here in Santa Clara, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the San Francisco 49ers. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Set. 18 Gator. Clear.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Ready? Get it.
First carry for James Conner, and little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Cool. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's not going to get the first down. He had to get to the 30, but he's a yard or two short. He needed 9, he got 8, and that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field. And this one is right down Broadway. And the 49ers take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Mayfield. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
That's it, baby. We gon' work.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Go set. 70. Indy.
Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Right. 5.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ready.
Operating from the gun. Ford. That's complete to a speedy wideout Goodwin. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 13 yards there and a Niner first. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. What we just saw, we saw a lot of last week. He had 5 tackles for loss a week ago and 1 here in the first quarter now.
And I think a lot of that comes from not just his athletic ability and his intelligence and understanding how he's being blocked and how to get to the ball carriers, but also comes from scheme as well. When you've got a guy that hot, playing that well, your defense coordinator is looking for ways to create mismatches and get him to the football.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Ready, break.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
Put up. Put up.
And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, These pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 18 yards, first down, Niners. They'll run with Coleman on first down. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Here we go. 18 Gator. 43. Like.
On second down, it's Coleman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On first down, Poole. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw. Poole. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. No, he almost had it. Already with 1 interception, just missing his 2nd there.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete.
Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. 5.
On third down, here's Coleman. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowski to punt this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards.
20.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Mayfield now from the 50. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Chandler Jones, one of the best athletes to ever come out of Rochester, New York, in for the sack. Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack. 3rd and long for Mayfield. Steps away to his left. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Let's go.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Draw quarter. Clear.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Let's go, 1-1.
Five. Hit it.
Right back to Connor here on 1st. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
43 is the mic. I'm here all day.
To throw on 2nd down. Poole. That's complete to his running back, Connor. To gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score.
That's it, baby.
A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. They'll try and run forward with Connor. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. On the run is Connor. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, again to Connor. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
On second and very short, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the out route. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter.
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go!
The Browns drive about to get started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Regular. Point it right.
On second and 7, Mayfield. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And a quick throw here. That's complete. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag. But you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Got it.
Be a long day for you. Double tight.
Go. Ready.
Throwing on first down. Poole This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Back to throw. Poole. And a quick shuffle pass here is complete. Give him 8 on the play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
How about that shuffle pass? Or if you want to call it the shovel pass, that's fine too. That's one of those plays that you take a little bit of risk there because you're trying to throw the ball into the middle of the field where a lot of big bodies lurk, and they can knock it away, pick it off, but they were able to execute it successfully on that play.
He'll get that one complete to Connor. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Mayfield now. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Mayfield to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep.
Let's go, baby.
Ready, set.
43. March 43. Set the tone, defense.
Son.
The drive will start with Connor. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Poole. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
180.
The Browns drive about to get started. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now we always talk about getting
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. To throw, Mayfield. Open man is Higgins. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Give him 22 yards, and that's also where they snapped it from, the 22. Mayfield now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The throw over the middle taken in, and he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down, executed it to perfection. Here's Mayfield. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. And again, it's Mayfield. Wide open receiver complete. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A big play that time for Cleveland. 42 yards. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4.
Alert, 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 alert. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, defense, left.
Mayfield with it once more. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they got an answer for it.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. A great effort there. With touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Now the try here for the point after. And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. This will be taken very short. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Ready?
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football, not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back, but it's still a 3rd and 8. The Niners on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Pull. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Myles Garrett, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at the 33. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
27, Mike, 27. 65, 65.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Forced out to his left. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Right there. 54, right there. Right there.
Play action now. Here's Mayfield. This pass complete to Higgins. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Back to throw. Pull. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This is taken at about the 14. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. It's a big play there for the Browns. 48 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Mayfield looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
First and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Throwing, Mayfield. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Check, 27. Point it right.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is third and goal. Now Mayfield. He's got it. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And his kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Down. 8, read. Night, sweetheart.
Looking to throw on second down. Cool. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Browns, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, add another loss to the pile as they drop to 2-8 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.